Good evening, everybody. Dr. Gloria Pope here of Black Girl Everything. And today is actually a special one for me because I actually got two people on the camera. It's my first double. My first time. So we have the owners of Jah Blendz. Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hi, everybody. Great.
It's good. All right. So who wants to talk first and introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about you?
I'll go.
You know you're gonna go first.
Like I'm not talking.
I'm usually the first one. Okay, hi everybody. My name is Donata, and I am 1/3 owner of Jah Blendz, Honey and Tea. Unfortunately, the third partner wasn't able to be here this evening, but we're happy to be here with you guys and just share some great information about our brand and just a chit chat.
Cool. So there's three of you.
Yes. Yeah.
I like things in threes. I put everything in threes.
3 is a good number.
3 is a good number. Lucky number 3.
Definitely lucky. All right, so go ahead, Kamara. Now all about you. Go ahead.
All right. Hi, my name is Kamara. I am, I guess I'm the third, I would say, of Jah Blendz. What I will say with our dynamics, just to put it out there, is one thing that we all have in common is that we are of Caribbean heritage. And that alone gives our product a little bit different than any regular honey or tea product that you will normally get, in your shelves or on the super, So yeah, that gives us a little spin to it. Our products are based basically on our heritage, how we grew up, things that our grandparents, our great-grandparents would do, we just incorporated in our products, bringing the flavor and the little spice from the Caribbean into your lives.
So I kind of figured that much when I read the Jah part about it. Kind of gave it away for me, but what made you guys come up with the name overall?
Well, Jah being the creator. So what we try to do is everything that God has put on this earth, we blend it for you and give you a product that you could use. Different reasons. Hey, all our products you could probably use based off of history. You could be like, okay, I remember that when I was growing up. My grandmother used to say that was good for that. So medicinal purposes, for just feeling good. Hey, I want to sit down. I want to take a break. Let me drink a cup of tea. It's hot outside. It is boiling up. Let me have a cup of ice, a glass of iced tea. I'm about to go work out at the gym. Let me drink some of that green tea to give me that little extra push. So it's basically everything that God has put on this earth that we're able to blend and give to you to fit into every aspect of your life. That's how we came up with the name.
And just to, piggyback off of what Kamara is saying, and I love to tell people this, we can't claim medicinal benefits of our teas, but when you sit there and you do your research on the actual herbs that are used in our teas, you see, it's proving there, like ginger, for example. I love to tell people about this little story, called I hate that time of the month. I hate the crème that comes with it. Unfortunately, that's just my experience. And I have nothing against pharmaceutical companies. Of course, if we need them, we need them. But I like to go the natural route. And I love taking our green tea. It has lemongrass. It has ginger inside. And that does the trick for me. And I can know what I'm putting in my body, because that's the one thing I love to say about our teas, our loose leaves or tea bags. You can actually identify some of the actual herbs that are in there. Nothing is grinded up. You don't have to kind of guess what's in it. You look at it and you're like, oh yeah, that's ginger. Oh wait, that's chamomile. Oh, that's roboid. So you're able to identify, some of those herbs. So that's the number one thing we love to tell people. It's the history behind those herbs and how we paired them and how they can benefit your body.
Okay, dope. So how many different blends do you guys have?
I think we're at what right now? We're at
11 and 16.
And we, at this time in our website, we currently have mostly our summer blends because we were just coming out of the summer, but we're going to be launching very soon a few of our fall blends and also some of our winter blends. We believe that we are big on telling people we love to create that tea experience, and we believe that can be impacted by weather as well. And the number one thing with tea experience is whether you love reading a book, watching your favorite show, whatever it is that is your me time, complemented with a cup of tea from Jah Blendz, whether hot or cold.
That's so cool. And you guys have honey.
Yes, the honey. Listen, the honey has been a surprise for us. We initially started as a tea company, and we wanted to give you everything to create the tea experience. So our honey, as Kamara will proudly tell you, because she's from Jamaica, our honey does come from Jamaica. And yes.
I didn't know that part. Oh my gosh, I gotta go live and talk all about it.
You taste the difference in the honey, the quality of the honey. We have our logwood honey, which is a seasonal honey from Jamaica. If most people, they come and they look at it when we're at a pop-up shops and they're like, wait, this is honey because it's so dark and it's so rich. And it's like, yes, this is honey. So that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on, where our honey comes from. And then of course, how we infuse it as well with the ginger. It's like, not to be sexist, but we love to say for the men who don't want to make tea, who don't want to go through all of that, we're not particularly fussy about it. Our ginger and turmeric honey and a cup of hot water, and you've got your best tea right there. So we love to just, show on the versatility of our honey.
I'm so happy I met you guys.
Thank you.
I love that because you have a real mission behind your product, right? It's coming from your roots, so that you own it and you love it. And then the fact that you're sitting there getting quality materials from out of the country to bring here to give people the opportunity to have a piece of home, especially people who haven't been home for a while, who can't go home because they can't get back or whatever their situation may be. They can find a way to still connect with their lifestyle. That's kind of really cool. And I love people who forage for really good items for their products. So this is really, really interesting. Yeah. Tell me more.
Thank you. So actually I have a pack of our tea here just to start off, and I wanted to show everybody a little bit of what our brand looks like. So if you've been going, we've been doing a lot of pop-ups during the summer. So if you've been going to pop-ups by now, you've probably seen us if you've been in New York. And, thanks to you guys, we've had the opportunity to expand in a few different states. I know Atlanta, Baltimore, we were discussing a few. So you would have seen our honey samples if you've went to your events as well. I don't have a full jar of honey because it's that good. So I can show you, I can kind of show you what our honey looks like. I'm sorry, I use my product too. Yes, I love it. So this is what our honey, this is our logo. So just look out for us. We're excited, to be in stores and as we expand and launch more. So just look out for our brand, guys.
Okay, perfect. So are you guys have any shelf space anywhere at this point?
No, we do not. Go ahead, because we've only launched April of this year. So it's been, yes, it hasn't even been a year, and we're thankful for the progress we've had so far, but we're working on that.
Oh, okay, cool. I could definitely see some shelf life, especially some Black-owned bookstore.
Giving us a few ideas, yes.
Okay, I shoot out
we'll take them.
Yeah, I could definitely see that in bookstores because bookstores really go along with teas.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yes.
So that's definitely a good angle. I've been really working on a network of building more connections with more Black-owned bookstores because I have a thing for authors, by the way. Authors are like one of my favorite entrepreneurs.
She is an avid book reader. Like she'll send a list.
You?
Yes.
She is.
Yeah, one of my favorite partners I'm doing a tour with, Vanessa Moore. She is one of my best friends, and she is an amazing author. And then after I wrote my dissertation, I came up with a much better love for authors because I understand the pain, sweat that they do. So, I have a respect for them. So I do a lot of events based off of writing a lot of the time. Plus I like creativity with like art and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. So what type of stuff do you like to read?
Me, I am into, I'm more into those quote unquote self-help books. I should say that. I want to say quote unquote because I think it's more of what you get from it is not. So I don't want to say it's really you as the individual have to absorb what's they're giving to you and decide, hey, I'm gonna do it or I'm not gonna do it. So it could turn out to be just an interesting read or something that I'm actually gonna pursue and like try to change my ways of, whatever. But I'm more into self-help books, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you like looking at your goals and aspirations in the world?
Yes, I do.
Oh, she's the one that will send you a quote every morning.
I do.
Like, this is her. This is her. Yes.
You all need one of those.
Every morning like clockwork.
and sometimes, you don't know what type of day a person is having. Like I can
Yeah.
personally attest to it. There's some days I get up and I'm like, blah, and I'll read something she'll say, and I'm like, like you look at me like a pick me up. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, so yeah, it definitely helps.
No, that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Definitely, really cool. Definitely cool. So what are some of your other goals that you have for the business? You guys think about exploring other products, or are you just really going to stick more so to just doing like 1,000 different types of teas?
Well, one of the things that I want to mention, I mean, it's actually a part of the business already. We do have an aspect of the business that we call our Black Label. Where out of the 16 teas, 5 of those teas are actually cannabis infused. We do also offer cannabis infused honey.
Yes.
We also do offer cannabis infused honey. And to be honest with you, the cannabis infused honey is like our top seller at any pop-up shop. That's like, everybody will be like, oh, we heard about your honey. We have people that just reoccur. And the thing with the cannabis infused honey, it's not going to give, or any of our teas that's cannabis infused, it's not going to necessarily give you a high. It more so gives you a calm. And this kind of came to me from my mother, because she has an issue with insomnia. And she says growing up all her life, that was the issue. And my grandmother always would make ganja tea and give them as kids growing up to drink so they would sleep. It wasn't looked at, and it was just to sleep. Now, there are different processes you could go through to get that high, but we don't do that. The whole idea is just to give you a calm, you get a good night's rest, you get up, you're ready for the next morning. So that's one thing that we're actually, well, it's no longer a goal. It's there.
It's there.
And
I'm probably going to step off camera for a brief second so you can see what our Black Label looks like. And just to piggyback off of some of what Kamara said, I haven't kept count at this time, but there's so many states that are currently legalizing the use of cannabis. And I think for many people, they're looking for a way to consume it where it's non-judgmental and where they feel it's somewhat safe in terms of not getting that euphoria high. And that's what I love about our product. Like we tell people every time, if you're looking for something that's a euphoria high, it's not our product. Our product is there for calming, for relaxing. Our honey, our 6-ounce honey that does contain cannabis, contains under 3 grams of THC, which is, if you know THC products, that is very small amount. So just to piggyback off of that, it's giving people the opportunity to consume it in a non-judgmental way. And, you know, if you're trying to experiment with the cannabis and not have to worry about, hey, am I going to go crazy high or whatever, you don't have to worry about it. That is not the aim of our teas. And like Kamara said, our honey, our cannabis infused honey is usually sold out at pop-ups because people find it interesting, 1. And 2, for those who tried it, they're coming back to get it. I've known people who would hit us, hey, which pop-up are you at this week? We want to come get some honey again. So that's one aspect of our business that I agree, Kamara. Thank you for mentioning.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so where are
also
you guys based at? I'm sorry, where are you guys based at?
We're out of New York, Brooklyn.
Okay, so I thought you was on Brooklyn. Okay, makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, what I was going to piggyback on what you were saying about the cannabis. Also, another thing is with ingesting it, not that ingesting it is way better than smoking it, to be honest, in terms of health wise. Because I think I was watching this morning on the news that they're saying that when you're, I guess, the smoking of the cannabis actually does affect your immunity to the COVID virus. That's a new study they have going on. So, you know, my mother even always told me that. She was like, oh, no, it's better you ingest it than smoke it. So,
and if I remember when we first started to actually work on the cannabis line, we were a little bit skeptical because we were scared of how people would look at it. And we, of course, any company wants to be taken serious, but when you look back at the history of cannabis, it was used medicinally. So it is what it is. Like history is history, you know? So what we tell people is, hey, we're not here for creating a product that is going to get you high or something fun. It's more of a relaxation and given time and time. I think we had a customer who said a friend of her gave her a few tea bags of the, actually it was the honey. She gave her a little bit to try. And she said, hey, every night I do a spoonful of honey in my tea and I have the best night rest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can completely understand that, especially if you have a long, anxious week.
Yeah.
And then your brain is going like this, especially for entrepreneurs, because our brains never shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And so just finding something to like ease you down into relaxation, because sometimes I find myself up at like 2 a.m, like planning events, which I really have no business doing at 2 a.m. Because I do. I just wake up like, ooh, and then come up with all these good ideas. And I got to sit down.
Just gonna step off camera so I can show you guys what our black.
Please, I want to see it. Go get it. So, Kamara, it seems like you are the encyclopedia of information for the business. Is that true?
So it's here. So this is our black label. So it is exactly the opposite of our regular bag. It is black. So, and it says here it's infused with cannabis. So, you know, the warnings is there, all the instructions in the back in terms of it being infused with cannabis is there as well. But what I love about our company is the versatility of it. We have something for everybody. If you're not into consuming cannabis, that's fine. There are people who have jobs for that reason they cannot consume it, and that's okay. We understand it, but we have something for everyone. Whether you're just looking for a blend of tea that you've never tried before, something that reminds you of home, because that's how we build our blends. We're very big on recreating what we've had home. I grew up on bush tea. Like, tea in the morning was going to the backyard, picking a few bushes, boiling it together, and that was your bush tea. That's what I grew up on. So we're basically bringing that back, and we're, you know, being a little bit more creative with flavor profiles, and we have that. And then, of course, we have our cannabis infused, which, of course, we mentioned has the cannabis as well.
Well, that's just definitely really, really cool. And I like your packaging, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and your logo is really dope. It speaks to me.
Thank you.
It's really, really cool. So tell me about your third partner.
Oh, I wish he was here.
Well, our third partner is a male.
Hey, man, you got some male juice in here?
Very quiet, to say the least. Very quiet. You know, and Kamara will say it, and I love how she put it the last time we did an interview. She said, we balance each other out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, we all are very, like, we all have our own personalities, but at the end of the day, we balance each other out. And the number one thing is we have the collective mindset of wanting our business to be successful. And at the end of the day, that's what we're working towards and gearing towards.
Yeah. So how does that work for you guys with having 3 people as owners in a business? Like, how do you guys make decisions and stuff like that? I want to talk a little bit about how your partnership flows, because I think that's important for people to understand.
Well, one of the most important things is that we all have a role to play. So I think once, instead of everyone trying to do one thing, we just break up everything. Okay, that's your thing, that's your thing, that's your thing, based off of our expertise. That's kind of the best way I could put it. And that's how it actually so far has worked for us. Just knowing this is your role, you're going to do, and you have that passion for this company. So this is my role. I'm going to put my whole 100% in it. And therefore, once we all do that, instead of getting 100, we get 300% pretty much. So yeah, I think that's how it works. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, sometimes this one over here don't like work me the wrong way. But at the end of the day, it's like we all have one common goal. And I think that's what kind of pretty much holds it together for us. I don't know if you have anything else to say about that.
Yeah, and I'll agree with Kamara. You know, we all have our strengths. And from the time I've known Kamara many years ago, 6 years or something like that. Yes. She's always been the one with a flask, and you see her with tea. Like, she's walking everywhere with her tea. So once we had the opportunity to create this company, it was like a no-brainer of who would be, you know, in terms of coming up with the blends and trying the blends. Yeah. That would be her thing. For me, I went to school. I have a degree in business and marketing. So I'm usually the one that's doing the social media marketing, you know, in terms of looking out for sponsorship ideas and how to, you know, propel the business forward in that area. That's usually my thing. And then, of course, our business partner, he's very big on the creation. Like, every inch of our business we touch. The three of us, we're touching it. So even with the creation of our honey, everything, the infusion process, everything, we're doing it ourselves, and that's his specialty. And we kind of, it's like an assembly line, like it goes one to the other until we have a finished product and we're able to present it to our customers.
That's so cool. I think the important part that I really respect that you guys talked about was the fact that people master what they master, and that's what they handle. So you can't have partnerships where everybody's trying to do the same thing. Like, it doesn't work. You all have to divvy up the responsibility. And that also comes from great leadership though, right? So you guys are all leading your organization in a good way, because as it expands and grows, you're going to be able to divvy out more and more and more and more and more how you have to do it. And I think that's going to be a good model for what it can work out, because a lot of partnerships end up crashing because people are constantly butting heads, and it doesn't work. Like even Black Girl Everything exists as its own entity, but Vanessa Moore is my editor and she yells at me because I can't spell to save my life. My grammar sucks. And then I have Infinity Blue, who's the base of organizing, and they event manage all my events for me because that's what they're really good at, you know? And I got vision, I got ideas, like, and I'm quite creative. Right. So I can do those things, but I really rely heavily on their expertise to get me through the way. And that's why I think the business has grown as much as it has in the last year and a half, because I've relied on people and their expertise.
Yeah.
I don't do anything by myself. I don't do nothing by myself. Nothing. And I call on to people part of my collective. Not you guys. I'm calling y'all for something. Watch me. I'm gonna find something, and all of a sudden we're gonna do some seminar on partnerships and make you guys talk about it, because you guys have a good model. You guys
Thank you. And what I want to say, and I love about it, is communication is very important. Like, we all have our days, we all have our personal lives, and we all go through things. And what I love about it is, you know, we are all willing to kind of pick up the slack. You know, somebody's going through something, we're all willing, kind of like, hey, I'll pick it up for you until you're able to. And that's why it's important to communicate that, because if you're picking up and you're not quite sure what you're picking up, it becomes a problem. Then we start to end up with issues. So that's really important. And I think our dynamic has worked thus far, and it's allowed us to be successful thus far, and will continue to give us that advantage and help us to propel in the future.
I think it's going to be dope. I think it's definitely going to be dope. I can see you guys going really, really far with it, because you do have a good product. I like it. My friend over there, Infinity Blue, she has a jar too at her house that she likes. So listen, we had to try it out. And it came to package so nice. I'm so mad I don't have a little jar up here. Do I have a jar? I think I have a jar up here. Where's my boxes? I don't. But anyway, it came with a little foam thing. And I was like, this is the cutest thing ever. I was so excited. I'm so excited. So I put it out all the time. So I'll share a picture of it again on my timeline. I shared a picture a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, thank you.
Again, thank you also for sponsoring our tour and being on there. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having your platform. When I came across it, like, I was raving to Kamara about it. I was like, listen, I found the platform. You know, like I said, we love what we do, and it's a privilege to be a part of your platform. When we're scrolling that website and we're seeing a list of all those businesses and we're there with them, it's like, oh, like, it's almost like sometimes like, oh, look at our babies doing that. So that's amazing. Thank you for that platform.
Yeah, it's coming along. It's growing. It's growing. It definitely is. I just really like meeting people and finding out there's so many great businesses out here. And, you know, you look at it, there's millions and millions of people who live in the state of New York. Right? We all can make money. Yeah. We don't have to sit here and try to cut people off. I'm like, no, you can make money. You can make money. You can make money. That's how I feel about it. Yeah. So there's more than enough people, because if you get a quarter of them people, 250,000 people just to buy your product, you're going to be millionaires anyway.
If the pandemic didn't teach us that, I don't know what else would teach us that lesson. Because I think the pandemic definitely sparked the entrepreneur in a lot of people. And sometimes I'm scrolling my timeline and I see 3 different lip glosses, and it's like, hey, there's something unique about each one. And I don't mind supporting them, because at the end of the day, I love supporting small businesses. One, I've always wanted to do that. I think it's very important for your community also when you're supporting small businesses. And it's time for us to pay those small businesses attention, because at the end of the day, we don't know what we're missing out in terms of products. So it's very important to not dismiss them, but actually give them a second look. I love to tell people, give it a second look. You might see something you like.
I'm finding there's so many people, when we get into the culture, that were these small Black, especially Black women-owned businesses being people's only look. And that's the real survival of our community, by keeping our money as Black as possible and rotating it between each other over and over and over again.
Yeah.
People come out to my pop-ups, and then my wife spends all the money I make at the pop-up. Trust me, she takes my little hand and she drags me around. Baby, I want to buy this. I want to buy that. I want to buy this. All right, fine. I know you set up all the lighting. You can do whatever you want. But that's just how it works. You know, even
you go somewhere and you see them. It's like, hey, you know what? I want you to support me, but also I want to support you. I want to show you that I support you as a Black entrepreneur, as a female entrepreneur, because that's something that's rare. And if we just all come together and support each other, I mean, trust me, we would be so surprised at how far our community would grow. To be honest.
I wholeheartedly agree, because I've seen some businesses in the last year and a half that have really flourished from having that camaraderie of working together and just getting access to them. You know, a lot of businesses who've come to my pop-ups get forever clients, you know, and that's what you want. If you go to a pop-up and you get 2 people who come back to buy your product again, you won the game.
Yeah.
You won the game. Because all you need is 1 or 2, because then there's 1 or 2 going to suggest somebody else, and that's another 1 or 2, and then that's another 1 or 2, and it constantly builds up. So just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. You know, is the followers are going to come, the supporters are going to come, the buyers are going to come. I'm going to send an email about this great interview and make everybody watch it.
Thank you.
People actually listen to me just a little bit. I don't know why, but they do. I guess because I love everybody. All right. So what is the last thing you want to tell listeners and viewers about you guys? What do you want to share? Anything fancy?
Donata, you know you always come up with the fancy stuff.
Wow. Okay. Where do I start? No, I want to tell you guys to follow us on social media first and foremost, because we're always at pop-ups. We're going to be launching some amazing teas for the fall and for winter and beyond. We have some amazing deals coming up and partnerships coming up as well. Look out for that. I'll give you a hint. You might see us in a tea subscription box, but hey, that's a hint. But you know, there's so many things that is happening for Jah Blendz, and we are thankful for those blessings. And we want to tell you, the only way you're going to know about it is if you're following us on social media. Take a look at our website, www.jahblendz.com. It's as simple. It's the name of the business. Same thing on social media. Jah Blendz, JAH_BLENDZ as well. Follow us on social media. Whether you're a tea drinker or not, we have a lot more products coming. We have our honey. So, and what I love to tell people is our honey is very versatile. You don't just have to put it in your tea. We cook with our honey. I've done like a few videos on our Instagram page where I showed it. Hey, instead of using, if a recipe called for honey, we did our ginger and turmeric infused honey, and how amazing. I mean, like, yeah, it's versatility. The versatility, even with our teas. I remember when we launched, we did our tea cocktails, which a lot of people were shocked at, because we took our iced teas and we added liquor to it and we spiked it for the summer.
I love a spiked tea.
Yes. So, you know, just follow us on our social media platforms, visit our website, and just stay in the know with all the amazing things we're doing, guys, and all the updates and everything that's coming for us.
Well, I'm so excited. So you guys are going to share all your updates and everything with me, then I'll send out email blasts.
Oh, thank you. We're doing it.
Listen, I tell people all the time, send me stuff, because for one, I need the content. Like, number one. Number two, and I love sharing it. It's going to take me 30 seconds to forward an email. Doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt me to share information about all the great things that you're doing. And it keeps me abreast of what's going on with people in their businesses. I like to keep track, especially for my sponsors, because you guys you guys get special treatment. You do. You're going to be like Holy Culture. Like, cause she sponsors all my visits, so she gets she's in my stories like every other day.
Thank you.
All right, beautiful people. Thank you so much for your time this evening. I really enjoyed our time together. I hope you guys
We
enjoyed
enjoyed
it.
you. Thank you so
Enjoyed your
much.
company. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. Oh, guys, you guys got to come to the retreat, by the way.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna send you an email about that. Yeah, it's next year, October 7th through the 9th. We could talk about some things in regards to the retreat. It is Columbus Day weekend. You ain't going to Miami.
Oh no.
No. Too much work to do to be going to Miami. Oh, how I wish though.
Yeah. So it's next year. So it's a year away. I'm going to be releasing some emails in regards to that. It's dope. Last year was amazing. It was in March, actually. When last year was this year in March. It was 3 days of phenomenalness at a house in the mountains. It was beautiful.
Gosh.
You just painted the scene. Oh.
And in October again, that would be perfect.
Yes.
And that's going to be in October of next year out in Pennsylvania in a house in the middle of the woods by a lake.
I see it's there.
Then you guys go to stay at your own hotel. And they have you and then you get shuttled in to the house, which is only minutes from the hotel in the woods.
That sounds like I'm seeing us there, Kamara.
Clara
calendar.
You're seeing us there. I'm already there.
Oh, she's already there.
Yeah, it's great. Registration's available on Eventbrite. It's only $35 to pre-register. I had to throw that commercial out there. All right, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Okay,
thank you for having us. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, too. Bye-bye.
Bye.